Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and this is Chef Winston. He's not impressed. So on today's episode, we are gonna make fruit pizza. He loves fruit pizza. Not really, he's never had it. Anyway, it's really easy. It's a simple dessert that you can share with your friends, and it's hot as blazes outside, so it's perfect for summertime. Are you ready to make it? Yes, thank you. My little helper is not going to help us, but he is here in spirit. Isn't that right, Winnie? So to get started, we are going to use our stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. To our bowl, we are going to, I don't know why, when I say R, I say R. Anyway, to our bowl, we are going to combine 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So that's just 1 stick. And we're gonna plop it in there, and then we're gonna just put this on medium, low. Okay, to our sugar and butter, we are going to add 1 egg. And I like to go ahead and throw in the vanilla as well. And this is half a tablespoon, so it's 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Now, we are going to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, a teaspoon of baking powder, get everybody in there, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I like to use kosher salt. You can do table salt, sea salt, whatever. All right, and then we're just gonna mix this until everything is incorporated. Now you don't want to over mix your dough, because what will happen is you'll end up being really hard and tough, and we don't want that. We want it nice and light and airy. All this raggedy box of plastic wrap. Okay. I'm not gonna tightly wrap this because I want to kind of spread it just a little bit to kind of get it in the shape that we want. And then we're gonna pop this in the fridge. You can do it for a couple hours. You can do it overnight if you want. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge, and then while this is chilling, we're gonna make the frosting mixture. So our crust is in, or our dough, I should say, is in the fridge. We are gonna make the cream cheese frosting, or like this, it would be the sauce of the cookie crust, cookie pizza, fruit pizza, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I have PTSD about my mic because I didn't have it on one day and I recorded an entire video. And so now if you see me looking down, that's why. First, we are going to need, I guess I should tell you what we need. We need 8 ounces of cream cheese, which that's 1 block, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1.25 cups of powdered sugar, a pinch of salt, and then about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. If you wanted to add like almond extract, you could do that as well. All right, plop that in. And I don't like to waste anything. And you want the cream cheese and the butter to be at room temperature. And I always like to beat the cream cheese by itself first before I add anything else. Because if it's not softened and you start just throwing stuff in there, then you end up having cream cheese chunks and it's not pretty. All right, that did well. Now we're gonna add our butter. And I'm gonna just give this a quick little scrapey scrape. If I can not get it all over myself. which is almost impossible. Now I have 1 1/4 cups of powdered sugar. However, I noticed that it was kind of lumpy when I was measuring it, so I'm going to use a, whatever these things are called. What is this, a colander? Is this a colander? Strainer, colander, sifter. There we go. No, maybe not a sifter. Okay, guys, it's been a day. All right, I'm just gonna sift this, getting it everywhere. Powdered sugar and moisture do not get along. So if you had a bag of powdered sugar sitting in your pantry for a while, you might want to just go ahead and sift it to be on the safe side. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and toss in my salt. And the salt just helps balance the sweetness. Without this exploding everywhere, we're gonna attempt to do this on low. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my vanilla. Give it a scrape. Yes, that's good. Now, I'm just gonna set this aside. We're gonna roll out our cookie crust, get it in the oven, and then while that's baking, we're gonna cut our fruit. Now we are going to roll out our cookie crust. I have a 14-inch, like a pizza pan. You can put it directly on here if you'd like. You can just spray it down. I'm gonna use parchment paper just to make it easier for cleanup. Say you don't have time to let your cookie crust rest for 2 hours or overnight. You need to get this prepared. Place it on your parchment and then keep your plastic wrap on there, or you can put another piece of parchment. And then you're gonna get your rolling pin and you're gonna create your shape. I'm gonna add one more piece of plastic wrap just so I can get my full circle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. We're not having a contest. And all I'm doing is just kind of shaping it to make sure that I have it in a circle. It's a little wonky. Okay. Let's see how we are with our pizza. Okay, that's perfect. All right. And you just want to make sure that it's even and you don't have like really thick spots in one area and, you know, super thin on the other side. So just try to roll it out as evenly as you can. And then we're gonna pop this in the oven on 350. I've already got my oven preheated. And we're gonna bake this for about 15 to 18 minutes. And then we'll just check and make sure, see if we need to add more time. All right, so for our fruit, I just have a mix of strawberries, kiwis, grapes, and blueberries. And I've washed everything. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it and get it ready for our pizza. You can use any fruit that you would like. It is completely up to you. I just think this makes a pretty combo. This kiwi is a little ripe. I'm just gonna cut thin little slices. And you don't have to peel the skin of the kiwi. It just doesn't look as pretty when you've got the little fuzzy outer layer. Now for our strawberries. Winston loves watermelon. That is one of his favorite fruits. So, and my son probably eats an entire watermelon every other day. No kidding. Anytime he's cutting up watermelon, Winston is right there, so he gets his piece. So he thinks anytime someone's in the kitchen, it's food for him. Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah, you love fruit. And then we're gonna just cut some grapes in half. All right, I'm gonna just keep cutting my fruit and then we'll be back to assemble everything. All right, friends, our crust is out of the oven. It has cooled completely. And now we're gonna add our frosting layer and our fruit. You just wanna get the icing to the edge. Now, it doesn't matter what pattern or anything like that you put your fruit in. We're just gonna start at the outside and work our way in. That's it, guys. Our pizza is done. It turned out so pretty. The fruit is delicious. I've already been snacking on the extras. It's simple. It would probably take you less than 30 minutes start to finish if you have everything assembled and ready to go. We're gonna dig into it and we're gonna give it a try. Do you want to give it a try? All right. So we're just gonna take that off. Now, if you wanted to do this gluten-free, you could use gluten-free flour instead of the regular flour. Ooh. Ah. I think I'm gonna give this a bite. Oh, it smells so good. Whoop. You can't have grapes, buddy. I'll give you some kiwi. So the cookie is not overly sweet, which is good because you've got the sweetness from the cream cheese frosting and obviously the fruit. But it feels very light, like a very light dessert. So when it's hot as blazes outside, this would be a perfect treat. It's good. I'll put the recipe in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things. And thank you again for watching, following, commenting. It really does mean a lot to me and to Chef Winston. He is the best chef. He's the star of the show, right? Anyway, I'm gonna keep eating this. All right, let's give you can have a little taste, Winnie. And Mila, you can have a little taste. Where's Axel? Where's everybody at? So everybody knows Winston. All right, here's your bite. Is that good? Do you want your kiwi? Y'all have not ever met Mila. Do you want to try? They want to lick the fruit of the icing. You want to try the cookie? You gotta bite it. No? All right, you have it down here. Okay, Axel, let's show everybody your, oh. Look at this big baby. You want the easy? Easy. There you go. Yummy. All right, guys, that's our circus. Was that good? All right, I gotta wash my hands now. I've got dog slobber all over me. Can dogs have kiwi? Where are you? Whoa, no. Winnie, do you want to be in this episode? Yeah? All right, let's put your little hat on because you want to participate. He is the best chef.